Okay. Vita. I'm gonna show y'all boys where I'm from, man. I'm from that.
What it do, still with the camp, sound like a lamb. Big boss hog, boss dog, can't pull through the door. Hit the top this box. Fuck it, my solidical, man. Tough times don't last. Good people do. Don't have yourself. Caught him if I let me be mad at peak game. 84's on West Wayne. Alright. So, we gotta take this brotherly love out of boxing. Shakur Stevenson edition. Right? And the problem I got with this is this, bro. All these dudes are openly talking about they love each other, right? The other day was Shakur Stevenson's birthday, right? Okay? And you see Ray Ford, oh man, I love you, bro. You see Zaquin Moses, I love you, bro. You see Keyshawn Davis, that's my brother. I love him. He got me right for an hour. I would never fight Shakur. I love him. You know, it's like, bro, wow, what's going on, bro? Why are these dudes talking about they love each other? Nah, like I told y'all, man. I was raised by my dad, bro. And I've never told my dad, and my dad has never told me that he loved me, right? It is what's understood don't need to be explained. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's my dad, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know? But we don't talk like that, my nigga. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm talking about? You know, like, we don't talk like that, bro. I got dudes I'm cool with. You'll never hear me say, I love you. I love you, brother. I got a brother. I've never told that man I love him, bro. Like, we don't talk like that, bro. And it's weird, like, to hear it, because, like, you see these dudes just openly, like, expressing, I love you. And it's not like, oh, man, you scared to express your feelings. It ain't got nothing to do with that. You know what I'm saying? It's just, we don't do that. You know what I mean? Like, it's nothing I need to think about. Like, oh, man, let me get myself in check. It's nothing I need to think about, nothing. You know what I'm saying? But Shakur Stevenson, he got, like, this weird, like, little bromance thing got going on with all these dudes, bro. Even with Terrence Crawford. You know, that's Terrence, that's my brother. You know, I love him, bro. That's big bro. We love each other. What? You know? And then Terrence Crawford got that same thing with Steven dude, whatever his name is. I'm like, bro, what's going on here, bro? Like, and then they always hanging together. I'm like, bro, I ain't gonna lie to you. I wasn't one of them dudes that was hanging with dudes all the time. Right? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna keep it 1,000. I was hanging with a girl. I was hanging with a chick. The chick, if it was a chick that I was, you know, doing some extracurricular activities with, that's who I was hanging with. I wasn't hanging with no dudes, bro, unless it was like, hey, we gonna work out. All right, cool, that's it. You know? But you literally see dudes. I got in an argument. I won't say argument. I got in a debate with my coworker. My coworker's like, man, yeah, me and the bros, we be going out and drinking together. I said, y'all go out alone? By yourself? Yeah. I saw y'all go out to see girls? Nah, we just be going there just to hang out. I said, nah, I can't do that. I can't do that, player. You know what I'm saying? Yo, like, nah, I wasn't that type of guy. You know what I'm saying? If I'm going to hang out with my partners, we're going to go get some girls. You know, this was me back in the day. I'm happily married. You know what I'm saying? Now I don't go nowhere unless it's with my wife. My wife going, I'm going. I'm one of them dudes. Hey, my wife, yeah, I'm going there. You know what I mean? You know, but for me just to go, you know, we like, hey, bro, we just finna go eat some food. Nah, bro. Nah. You know, if it wasn't no girls there, I wasn't going. Like, that is not happening. You know what I mean? So, it's just weird, like, all this bromance stuff. Then, like, these dudes don't want to fight each other because they cool. Nigga, I will, if the dudes I'm cool with, they in my weight class, they in the way we fighting. I don't care. You can call me different. I'm a different type of cat. I'll fight my mama if she in my weight class. I'm not lying to you. I don't care, bro. You in the way? Hey, you in the way. You know what I'm saying? I don't care, bro. You know, I'm just being honest. You in my weight class, we got to get to it. I fight my daddy in my weight class. Hey, much respect to you, Pops, but you in the way of me being great. Let's get in these girls real quick. We can put money in each other's pocket. You know what I'm saying? But I ain't talking to you for 8 weeks. You know, I'll talk to you after the fight. You know, that's the type of dude I am, bro. I'm sorry. I'm just not finna, nah. You know, like, I'm not gonna fight him because, he's my brother and I love him, and, we would never fight each other. We just love each other. He was there for me, and he talked to me for hours on the phone. Why are you talking to a man for hours on the phone, bro? Like, I don't get it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't even talk to my daddy that long on the phone. Man, me and my dad talk. It got to be a purpose. Like, hey, man, hey, you gonna come get the brisket? Yeah. All right. That's it. That's how we hang up. We'll be like, all right, Dad, bye. No. You know what I'm saying? It's stuff crazy to me, man. Real talk. Like, that's what's wrong with boxing. It's too much friendly stuff going on. Everybody friends. And I'm not saying nothing wrong to have friends. Like, I'm not opposed to that. You know what I'm saying? But when this is not a team sport. Like I get if it's football, you got a football team, you cool with this dude, you a quarterback, this dude play wide receiver, you like, hey man, I think he'll fit with my team. Hey bro, come play with us. You know what I'm saying? That's different. But you in boxing, it's just you in that ring. It's you versus whoever other man in that ring. So you ain't in there to make friends. You're not in there to be like, hey dude, we're a team. Yeah. No. You in there to compete. It's you versus that other man in there. It's just y'all two in there. Right? There's a winner and a loser. You know what I'm saying? Somebody gotta lose. You feel me? So it's just like, I don't understand what, this whole I love you and brotherly love and, like, stop doing that, bro. Like, no. You know what I mean? Like, I don't come from that. And it's different. Like, I'm not saying I'm tough. And I make it perfectly clear. I'm not tough. I'm not gangster. Just a grown man on tolerate disrespect, bro. And when I sit here and say things like that, these people get upset. Oh, what do you mean? What do you mean? I'm like, bro, like, what do you mean what I mean, my nigga? You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you mean? What do I mean? Nigga, like, I said what I meant. I'm not tough. I'm not gangster. You know what I mean? I just don't tolerate disrespect, bro. Just like when it come down to this stuff, bro, it's like, look, at the end of the day, when you look at everything, you tired, and it's like, boxing is a sport where you have to compete to be the best, right? That's just what it is in everything, right? And when you got your friends who are in your weight class, and they moving up the ranks, you moving up the ranks, and you talk about you want to be undisputed and you want to hold this belt and hold this belt, it's like, bro, you gotta fight your friend, bro. That's why I never understood about Shakur. That's the only thing I don't like about him, is the whole friend thing. He a great fighter. You know what I'm saying? But I don't like the friend stuff. I'm not gonna lie to you. It bothers me as a supporter of the sport, because it's like, you're not a real competitor to me, in my opinion. Right? When you're a competitor and you want to be the best, there's nothing that can stop you from being the best. You know what I'm saying? Now, I'm not sitting here telling you put your, over God. That's not what I'm saying. Right? But what I'm saying is that, like, and look, I get it if he your blood. You know what I'm saying? Like, your blood family. That's understandable. Me personally, I don't care. But, but if somebody said, hey, man, this is my real blood brother, like the Charlos, them sitting there saying they won't fight each other when they both was at 154, I understood that. Like, I get it. Me, I still would have fought my twin brother. I'm not going to lie to you. But that's me. You know what I'm saying? But you got a dude that ain't your brother? Nah, we finna fight, bro. You know what I mean? Because you in the way, especially if we at the same weight class. You got to understand, anybody in and around your weight class is not your friend. You can't make friends with people in and around your weight class and they making noise and they whooping everybody. No. Like Keyshawn Davis making noise, bro. Before he, fell off the map, he was making noise. He was doing a lot of, good things in that ring, bro. So it's like, at the end of the day, when you sit there and look at the totality of the circumstances, he was in the way. But you sat there and, oh, I would never fight him. That's my brother. Y'all need to stop asking me about him. The next person that asks me about that, I'm gonna fight them. Okay, so what if somebody accept your invitation? Then what? Right? Because you use that as a scare tactic because you know these media dudes gonna back off. So what if somebody in the media be like, all right, bet, let's get it. Then what you gonna do? You gonna fight them? You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not understanding, bro. And every man ain't gonna run for no smoke. You know what I'm saying? Like, the dudes I be around ain't dudes that's gonna run from smoke. You ain't gonna do all that talking and all that and get hype and type. Nah, they gonna stand on their 10. If you come at them disrespectfully, they gonna accept your invitation. You know what I'm saying? So you can't sit there and threaten, oh man, I'm gonna tell you something, bro. If you the next person to ask me that, man, I'm gonna ask you to fight me then, nigga. Bet. Win. You know what I'm saying? It ain't got nothing to do about, oh, I'm gonna win. It's just, I'm gonna stand on my 10. You know what I'm saying? And when you got men that stand on their 10 that's fearless, it's like, bro, what are you gonna do? You can't use scare tactics on people, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, I think this brotherly love stuff is kind of killing boxing, bro. This is why boxing is not in good hands right now. Because the people who we got in these positions, like when you look at like back in the day, like, you know, the Sugar Ray Leonards, the Roberto Durans, the Marvin Haglers, you know what I'm saying? That's my all-time favorite fighter, Marvin Hagler. You know what I mean? But all these fighters, even like the Roy Jones Jr., Bernard Hopkins, Oscar De La Hoya fought everybody, bro. Oscar De La Hoya, you know, the list goes on, bro. I could, you know, the Mike Tysons, the Riddick Bowes, all of them, bro. Like, all of them. Pacquiao, you know, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., Pernell Whitaker, like, all these dudes fought each other, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was a different vibe. Floyd fought Zab Judah, and he was cool with Zab. You know what I'm saying? Now, granted, it took, after that, you know, it took them a long time to get back cool, but he fought him. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, at the end of the day, in this sport, when you competing in boxing, ain't no friends, bro. You know, they too nice. That's what's wrong with boxing. Everybody want to be cool, man. Everybody want to be cool with each other. You can't do that. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just speaking like facts. When you want to be the best, you got to do what you got to do to be the best. And that means you got to get these boys out your way. That's what it is. You know what I'm talking about? But y'all let me know what y'all think. Let's go.